Morning. It's Sunday morning, folks. Hope everybody had a nice Friday night and Saturday. You know, my neighbor came over this weekend and we just started, we put on CNN News and we're just talking about some of the comments, and they're showing borders and everything like that. So I start Googling what happens when you cross other people's borders. You know, I was thinking about not too long ago when those two journalists, I think in 2009, crossed over in the North Korean border. They got 12 years of hard labor, and it was probably extremely hard too. Even though they only did they were home in a few months after that, so they didn't really do it. But you know, I think the North Koreans did a good job in terms of, hey, we have rules and there's consequences when people break those rules. Then there's the two hikers, the American hikers, who were in the Iranian and Iraq and crossed the borders illegally. And they got 3 years for that. They got another 5 years because they thought they were spies, but they got 3 years for the illegal entry. Okay, and that's one of the charges they charged the two journalists with in North Korea. Illegal entry. You know, so I was reading more, and if you cross the Afghan border, you're going to get shot. You cross into the Cuban border, you're going to rot in a prison. You cross into a Saudi Arabia border, you will be jailed. Now, if you cross into a China border, you may never be heard from again, it was saying. And you can read all this stuff. Then it made me to think how, like, you know, sometimes you read about Arizona or Texas, you know, when we have illegals crossing into our border. What do we do? Well, in California, you see that we're giving them food stamps. We're giving them welfare. You get a job. You get a driver's license, you get subsidized rent, you get free health care, you're going to have a lobbyist in Washington fighting for you, making sure that you get those rights, and you're going to get a free education. And you'll wonder why we're in debt as a country. You'll wonder why. And you'll wonder why people are doing anything they got to do to get over to this country. You don't see them fighting to go over to those other countries because there's consequences. You're not going to get the stuff you're going to get here. I mean, we really got some thinking to do. You know, especially it all boils down to that tax-paying hard citizen, because, you know, each time we see these government officials go, oh, we got to raise taxes, we don't have enough money. Well, remember, some of this money is going for this free education, food stamps, welfare, subsidized rent, free health care. I mean, boy, I don't know if we have people running the show who are uneducated, but this has nothing to do with education. This has something to do with common sense. You know, we have to restructure and rethink our whole way of thinking up there for these people in Washington who make these rules, but it blew my mind. The consequences of crossing borders. Looks to me like in most other countries, you're gonna have a tough road ahead of you. Cross into America, you just hit the lotto. You don't need to go to the store to buy a scratch ticket. You don't need to go to the store to buy Powerball. You hit the lotto once you cross in, and you're safe and don't get caught. Jackpot. Come on, let's do some serious thinking, especially now. Okay, let's take the Republicans and Democrats, put them together. It's no longer that fight anymore. We've got a serious problem now. And this is a start. This is another start to another problem we need to look into. Wow, it was kind of comical. I mean, sometimes when I watch CNN or these other shows, I got to ask my neighbor, Ted, are we on the Comedy Channel? Is this Comedy Channel Network? And then he says, no, Big B. It's CNN or whatever news channel is. Whoa! Cuckoo! Let's fix this country, okay, folks? We got a serious border problem. Have a good work week.